Watch BBC News programmes and investigations on BBC iPlayer.
Live from London, this is BBC News. The UN chief hits back. Antonio Guterres says he's shocked by the misinterpretation of his words after Israel condemned him for saying that the Hamas assault had not happened in a vacuum.
I believe it was necessary to set the record straight, especially out of respect to the victims and to their families.
Airstrikes continue to hit Gaza, where more than 6,500 people are now reported killed. And senior officials from the militant groups Hamas and Islamic Jihad hold talks with Hezbollah's leader in Lebanon. Hello and welcome to Verified Live. The humanitarian effort and the lack of fuel in particular are dominating the agenda today in the Israel-Gaza war. A third of Gaza's hospitals have already shut down, and those still operating have been forced to stop all but emergency services. The UN agency, which looks after Palestinian refugees, is warning it will have to stop its operations tonight unless fuel is allowed in today. Well, overnight, 8 trucks carrying food, water and medicines crossed the Rafah border crossing point from Egypt into Gaza, but Israel has banned fuel from entering the territory, saying Hamas would use it for military purposes. Well, these are empty fuel pumps in southern Gaza. An advisor to Israel's Prime Minister has told the BBC there are hundreds of thousands of litres of fuel in the hands of Hamas. The BBC has not been able to verify that. Hamas is designated a terrorist organisation by the UK and other Western governments. Well, there are growing international calls for a humanitarian pause in the fighting to allow aid to reach Gaza, which continues to come under intense bombardment. The health ministry in the Hamas-controlled territory says that more than 6,500 people have now been killed, 2,700 of them children. Israel says more than 1,400 people were killed in the Hamas attacks on October the 7th. Well, another focus of the last 24 hours has been Israel's furious reaction to the comments made by the UN Secretary-General at the Security Council yesterday. Well, Antonio Guterres said the Hamas attacks in southern Israel had not happened in a vacuum. He also said there was no justification for the Hamas attacks. Israel is now withholding visas from UN officials in response to those remarks. Well, in the last hour, Antonio Guterres has spoken again and hit back at the response there's been.
I am shocked by the misrepresentation